Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another 3D Hangouts. My name is Noah Ruiz. I'm a designer here at Adafruit, and joining me every week is Mr. Pedro.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Pedro, Creative Tech here at Adafruit, and every week we come to share 3D printed projects featuring electronics from Adafruit.
That is right. This is a show where we combine 3D printing and DIY electronics to make inspirational projects. Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's kick off the show with a very special coupon code. Today's coupon code is SPOOKYBOX. So if you want to pick up anything in the Adafruit shop, please do so and use coupon code SPOOKYBOX in checkout to get 10% off your order. Sorry about that. If you head on over to adafruit.com/free, you can see all the free deals we have going on right now while supplies last. It's really nice. For orders that are over at $99 or more, you get a free half-size perma-proto. For orders that are like $199 or more, you get a free Circuit Playground Express plus the perma-proto. And for orders over $199 or more, you get the perma-proto, you get the Circuit Playground Express, and you get free ground shipping for U.S. continental restrictions may apply. Check out the website for that. While supplies last, I would probably get some stuff in because the holidays are coming. And,
it is that time of the year when everything is out of stock.
So get your orders in and use coupon code SPOOKYBOX.
Remember, it works on everything except gift certificates and AdaBox subscriptions.
That's correct.
Definitely take advantage of that. Expires at 11:59 p.m. tonight. We also got same-day delivery in the NYC area, certain zip codes. Be sure to check that out.
Yep.
CircuitPython happens every week.
Yeah, it's a meeting that happens every week with the developers and folks from the community. So if you are interested and want to sit in the meeting, you can do so. It happens on our Discord server. So you go to discord.gg/Adafruit, or you can watch the replay on YouTube. All right. Newsletter time, daily newsletter, adafruitdaily.com is where you want to get that. Really awesome way to get insights into maker business, biohacking, and CircuitPython and 3D printing. Check that out. We also have a newsletter for product-focused stuff, adafruit.com/newsletter for that one. Whew. And then the Discord server. Check out Discord. We are hanging out there right now, and we invite you to chat with us after the show, as we'll be there as well. So you can check that out. The link is up there. It's discord.gg/Adafruit, and we're in the live broadcast channel right now, hanging out. So there we are. And thank you everybody for tuning in.
Giving shout outs to everybody in the chat room. We got Madable in the house.
Hello.
Jesse, Ravi, Shawshak.
Hello.
John K is in the house.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Shawshank.
Shout out.
Guad from India. Got fans there. Of course, Kirby is in the house as well.
Hey, Kirby. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We're going to kick it off. Next up, this week's project. This week's project is kind of interesting. It's a little bit of 3D printing and a lot of cardboard-ish. It's a Cricut-based project.
Crafting for the holidays coming up. This was originally supposed to be a Halloween project, but of course, you know how it goes.
Yeah. It got put on the back burner as more projects came out. We had the lightsaber build. We had the new Pixel Bike Light. We wanted to get those out for Christmas. I mean, for Halloween. And then we said, well, what do we do with this spooky box? Well, we're fans of A Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. And hey, why not make it a spooky Christmas-themed box gift thing? So this is what we came up with. This was written in CircuitPython by Lamar Freed, Lady Ada, and it uses the Cricket and the Circuit Playground Express. The PIR Motion Sensor will detect motion and will use a motor, a TT motor, to randomly spin it. And it moves around when it sees people. It's got sound effects as well.
Yeah, the onboard lights too.
And the onboard lights too. So you get this really cool kind of a prank in a way, which is kind of neat. So let's
it's supposed to be like a little prank for that. Yeah, so one of the cool things about this is the box could be an AdaBox, and if you're gifting a bunch of electronics, why not turn it into an actual project that the kids or whoever you're gifting it to can actually use, like a piece of Lego
it's gonna fall off the table.
To rearrange. There's a lot of customization room left for this, so you can definitely add more solenoids or have like the Halloween in there, maybe like peeking out, having a little solenoid like making this go up and down. Of course, you can add any of your own sound effects as well. Take a look inside, you can see how everything is arranged. Let me just turn that off since it's kind of loud. So we have a PIR sensor mounted on the front here. We have the Cricut on a 3D printed mount from a couple episodes before. Circuit Playground Express is handling all of the duties of controlling everything. And we have a TTA motor, big wheel, and one of our new little tiny super loud speakers.
Yeah, it's like a mini subwoofer.
It has a lot of nice bass. That's what we used on the lightsaber actually. And everything is hooked up using jumper cables and our little jumper cables to the alligator clips, so we can easily connect the speaker here. So no soldering is required. Super friendly for workshops or any kids of younger ages. Super easy to rearrange. Of course, everything is cardboard cut out, so all of the little ledges that are keeping all of the components in place are all easily set up with a bunch of cardboard. And you can, of course, decorate this to whatever theme you want.
Yeah.
Super cool little project there.
Sweet. So we have a learn guide for you guys. So head on over to learn.adafruit.com. You can see all the parts that are used to build the project. Just about everything's in stock except for the Cricket, but our partners over at DigiKey have about 180 or so in stock, so definitely check them out. They have some really good shipping options as well. Check it out. Support DigiKey. You can get Circuit Playground and the Cricket as well from DigiKey. So there you go. Very cool. But I think everything else is in stock. There are some things like the motor mount that you'll need to source. But you can sign up for the for email notifications when they do return. Prerequisite guides is always a nice thing to have if you're new to Circuit Playground Express, Cricket, and CircuitPython. You can check out these links and get accommodated with all the things you need to know. But for the most part, this works really well as a beginner project, as a sort of a teaching STEM type project. You can do that as well. So check it out. We got a nice breakdown of all the parts here, all the hardware and things. The Cricket comes with the standoffs and the hardwares that you need, and so does the motor mount. That comes with the long screws that attaches to...
The bracket actually comes with a couple more screws that you can customize in different ways, different sizes, as well as the nuts to hold everything together.
Yeah, I really like these alligator clips. These are super handy because it really makes it easy. Yeah, especially something like the speaker. It doesn't have wires soldered on it, but it does have terminals. You just plug right into it. And you can use this for all sorts of different things. You got your standard male headers, jumper wire headers. They work pretty well. So you can see here it works super awesome with sensors, breadboarding, and the Circuit Playground. You just clip onto those little pads. Super cool. Also, I have a list of tools and things like that. It's always handy to have with like using a set of these tools on any project. All right, so that's kind of the introduction of it. Let's look at the circuit diagram, the way the things are hooked up. All of our circuit diagrams are created using Fritzing open source software. There's a download link to that there if you'd like to create your own circuit diagrams. And we also have a library of all the Adafruit parts, including the Cricket, the Circuit Playground, and stuff gets added all the time when new products come out. We normally add those Fritzing parts there. And for
it's actually a high priority of making everything in Fritzing. So Phil B actually designs everything in Illustrator.
Nice script,
has a nice little script that turns it into a SVG for use inside of Fritzing. So please definitely check out our GitHub page on that. I think that's where the button shoots you over to. Shoot over to the GitHub, just show it off.
Yeah, it's a library. You can add the parts.
Got its part. Just search for the PID number.
That's right.
By that, or the description of the product.
And for accessibility purposes, we have nice broken out words of how the things are wired up. Instead of just having an image, we also have the words there. A bit of an interesting note here on the sensor itself. The sensor has a jumper in the back of it for changing the sensitivity. The one that we found that works the best is the one that's labeled L. So there's two different types, there's the L and H. A little jumper, you just pop it off and plug it into the lower area where it says L, and we have it marked there too. If you want to increase the photo, just click on it and then you'll get a nice big photo of it. So there you go, you can see exactly where it is.
Image stack of
Is it an image stack? Nice.
No, it is, yeah.
Holy jolly.
So the micro.
Yeah, there's the L. Oh my god, you can see the printing on that.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That's pretty cool. I feel like it's the macro thing. All right, moving back over here. One other note, the PIR Motion Sensor likes 5 volts. So what we did is we have a wire coming into the 5 volts on the NeoPixel drive. That way we have a proper voltage going into the sensor, because if you look at the signal IOs, we do have signal voltage and ground, but that is 3.3 volts. Sometimes it works, but if you want it to always work, definitely use that 5-volt pin, and that's the kind of note that we wanted to add to that.
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to the code, again, shout out to Lamar Freed for writing the code in CircuitPython. So really cool, the Cricket has a built-in library, so when you update your firmware with the UF2 file, it will have a lot of the libraries baked into it, which is great. So you don't need any external libraries because it's kind of baked into the firmware, which is great. Definitely want to always update it, keep it up to date because we're always adding new libraries and new functionality. Getting your code onto your microcontroller has never been easier with CircuitPython. And what we like to use, you can use a text editor, but we like to use Moo. Moo is a nice beginner-friendly Python program. It's really simple. It's got a nice black, dark interface. It works really well. So I'll run through the code just a little bit, and it's commented nicely, so you can see. If you want to make it really bright, you can totally change the brightness here. It's set to a third of, it's like 30%. You can put that to 1 and change it. Really what I want to highlight, though, is down here where line 18, we have a little variable here called audio files, and that means that's where the audio files. So really awesome. You don't have to convert the audio into like a .h file like you do with something like Arduino. So you just have standard WAV files.
You got to stay within the bounds of certain bit rates, but yeah, other than that.
Okay, that's true. And it's just an array. It's a nice little list. So right now we have 2 WAV files, but you can add as many as you can fit. There's an 8 megabyte flash on the Circuit Playground, so you can add as many sounds as you like there. So that's where you would want to change it. You just have it in the root of the microcontroller. It shows up as a USB drive when you plug it in, and you just drop in your audio WAV files in there, and then make sure you just label it here in the double quotes, and that's it.
Want to insert a little bit of this is like another gift that you're opening, because you can just plug it in your computer, loads as a USB drive, and you can open up your present of the code that you can actually read, edit, and modify.
Yeah, this is so many situations where you're at a conference, you're at someone else's house. The library
for teaching environments. You don't need IT to lift any restrictions on installing stuff.
You don't even have to install Moo if you don't want to. Again, if you have a text editor, you can open up the Python code file. Works really well. We also have links above here if you're new to CircuitPython. It'll walk you through everything that you need to know, which works really well. A note on the audio files real quick. You want to use the WAV format. It should probably be mono, PCM, with 11 kilohertz bit rate. That way you get the most sound. It's nice and, yeah, because like a 48 kilohertz file will probably like double the size. So that's why we're like, yeah, make it there. And if you're wondering, well, how do I make my sounds? Mike Barella's got your back. He has a learn guide on how to use open source software like Audacity to create, there it is, the Audacity.
The Audacity.
The Audacity. To convert files from iTunes, recording sounds. That's a really cool way. Imagine making something that has your own voice in it, and you're talking to your significant other, your kid, or whatever. Super cool. So thanks to Mike B for putting this together, because that seems to be a recurring thing. How do I get my audio in there? Oh,
it's pretty detailed. Check it out.
Yeah. All right. So that's oh, and also have you can get royalty-free sounds from something like freesounds.org, which is a nice little database of royalty-free sounds. Very cool. We don't want to get in trouble with copyright stuff, so that's why we're not hosting that stuff.
We are going to be providing a bunch soon.
Okay. When it comes to 3D printing, you don't have to have a 3D printer. We just liked to use our general purpose mounting plate for the Cricket PCB. And we have little snap fit adapters as well. This one we're using the snap fit adapter that's designed for the battery holder. It's a 3 AA battery holder, and that's what this little blue one is. So we walk through slice settings and things that we like to use. If you'd like to remix this case or expand on it or something, we have the CAD files available to download, the source file, the step files, and the STLs as well. We also have a GitHub repo of all of our 3D parts that are boards, buttons, and that sort of thing. We have a nice repo with a bunch of CAD parts, so you can download them there. Okay, now it comes to the assembly of it. Paige is going to take it away.
Nice little crafty project that you can definitely rearrange. One of the boxes that we're using is actually one of the Ada boxes. I have the size listed there so you can see if you want to get something close to what that size is. But basically what you're doing is laying out all your components using a pencil and a Sharpie to draw out where all of them are going to be mounted. Scroll down a little bit. One of the things you want to watch out for is having the wheel attached so you can trace that properly of where it's going to be properly mounted to it. And we can go ahead and cut out the little cutaway so the wheel can fit through. And you just want to make sure you have enough clearance so it doesn't rub against any of the sides there. Next step is tracing out your bracket so that we can mount the TT motor to the bottom of the box. What we're doing here is temporarily attaching the brackets. We could trace out the outline as well as the little mounting screws for each. Take a look at some of the steps here of how that is done. You do have to attach that so we make sure that it is properly attached with all of the like the sizing of how it's going to be on there. You can remove that and then trace out with a little bit of scrap cardboard. If you scroll down to the next part, we actually have to make a standoff so we can lift that TT motor a little bit off the so we have room for the wheel to fit all the way down in there. So I found that 3 layers of the standard cardboard that like ships with the Ada box, whatever that is. 3 layers of that should work just fine. But if you do have like a long or a shaggy carpet, you probably want to use like 1 or 2 layers of that cardboard to create your standoff. We're just using regular glue here to adhere that to the bottom of the box. You can see there. Allow it to dry, and then use the included screws to mount the bracket back on there. Scroll down over to the motor. Once that's all nice and dry, you can use the longer screws to fit through the body of the TT motor and then mount that on. We're using the nuts on the other side so we can secure that. A little bit out of order here in the picture. I'm actually adding the wheel after the nuts have been attached. Just insert it at an angle, fit it through the cutaway, and there you go. You have a standoff created from cardboard for your box here, and it has a nice amount of force that I can lift. As you can see, the Cricket and the battery, the speaker, it's got a little bit of weight to it, so it has, it's definitely secure in terms of being able to move all that around.
Push its weight, move its weight around.
Exactly. Next up, again, you don't have to use a 3D printed mount that we're using here, but if you do, you can thread the wire for the battery pack holder through the little frame area here. If you're not using a 3D printed part, you can just use a piece of double-sided foam tape to adhere to the bottom of the Cricket.
Yeah. I was going to say, there's plenty of room in the box for the battery to kind of sit offset, so that's always a good thing.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Definitely could. You could attach to the side or something. The battery pack does include the, I think it's like M3 by 4mm long screws to attach the battery pack to the bottom of the universal printed mount for that. Again, you can get different mounts for this. A little side here pops out a little blue piece of that, so you can actually have different mounts for that. We have a whole detailed guide of all the different adapters and all that. If you want to check out the dedicated learning guide for the 3D printed Cricket mount. And then we're just going to need additional M3 by 6mm screws to hold on to the mount. There are 2 different versions, one with heated inserts and one without. I'm using the one with the heated inserts here. They are properly labeled in the full guide for that. Okay. Once that is complete, we can start drawing the little cutaway that'll hold the PIR sensor in place. I'm just using a drawing tool to create a 2.2 inch radius that'll be the little holder for the lens on the PIR. You could cut that out on the center of the side wall of the flap here for the box, and just use a little hobby knife to cut that away. And that mounts pretty flush on there. It's pretty easy,
you can, if
clean
you wanted
way.
to put it somewhere else,
wherever you just don't want to obstruct the view.
You don't want to obstruct it, so yeah.
You can definitely hide it. The way I was going to hide it with the Halloween themed version of this is we were going to have like a skull.
Oh, it was going to be like the eye or something?
It was going to be like in the mouth of the skull.
Oh, okay.
So it would be kind of hidden that way.
Or John Park used
John
it as
Park
an
has
eye,
used it.
yeah, which worked out really well. Kind of adds to the decor.
Exactly, yeah. I think that's the best way to do it like that. It would be part of like an eye or...
Yeah. Are there mounting holes on the thing?
There are mounting holes. Yes, there are two on each side.
Sweet. So you could use those as well.
You could do it that way as well.
Secure. Sweet. All right, now keeping the stuff in place.
This is really cool. So we're using more scraps of cardboard to create these little ribs that'll hold the speaker and the Cricket and CPX in place. You can see here I'm just taking little strips of cardboard, cutting it down, and then just bending them into a circle. We traced out where the speaker is for that, and we're just gluing the bottoms of those to the box. As you can see here, these circles are highlighting where I placed those little holders. And that just keeps everything in place while the box is in motion. Doesn't have anything slide over the place. That's pretty much it for the assembly of that. The only other thing you want to do is remove the box flap that will obscure the PIR if you do choose to mount it there. And then, of course, the wrapping, decorating. If you go to the overhead, simple little ribbon that I used to create the bow in here. So this is just so it's just a continuous. I should have took pictures of it, but I don't know if the theme is going to be totally up to you. So it's just one continuous. You can look online on how to create these. And I'm just sticking, what are they, ornaments and bells on there to make it all creepy, creepy sounding. This doesn't even go completely around. It's just taped. Same thing for the bottom here. Just one continuous strip that goes all the way around. And forgot to mention, you want to make sure that the sides are not connected to the rest of the box, so they can easily open. We're just cutting strips in here and taping these to the side, inserting those in like that. This is where you can stress your creative, crafty ingenuity on create a nicely themed box. I think I forgot to mention, if you do want to make this in the center, it's just right above the D on Adafruit there for the PIR. There we go.
All right, well that is...
I believe that's it. If you go over to the guy, that's pretty much it. Yeah. It's a very easy, fun way creative way to give components as a project already to modify.
Yeah, and this is just barely using all of the functionality of the Cricket.
There's still more room for other stuff.
A lot of stuff. You can connect servos, continuous servos, more motors, and a lot of 5-volt powered things like linear actuators, for example, to kind of push things up.
Yeah.
You want to do an animatronic style box or something, where it has 2 moving arms or something like that.
That would be pretty cool.
Some other cool ideas that we had was we want to kind of make our own faux what is it called, a chimney, a fireplace, and then actually have something like the Grinch come down from the fireplace and say something like, "Oh."
Yeah, David Stells had a good idea of having add a pickups shake sensor to it. Good idea for that.
Yeah, and there's lots of channels on the signal section of the Cricket to add more sensors. You also have capacitive touch, and of course you could have more NeoPixel LEDs, so you can drive more of those. Yeah, this is just kind of really like a base start to get this up and running. So we got the sound, we got the motor, we got lights, so that's enough to
get you started.
Going. Yeah, make something pretty fun. And it's really nice to use cardboard to prototype. It's just really fast, and if something breaks, you just make it again.
Definitely want to do more prototyping that way, because it was super fast to figure out the radius for that. I had to do 4 prints to figure out all the tolerances for that. Cardboard gives you a little bit more leeway, so you can actually remeasure what the tolerance differences was to plug that into Fusion for your radius to 3D print something that would fit.
Yeah, imagine shaking the box and be like, ah! Ah!
Yeah.
And it's like, stop it! Stop shaking me! Like, whoa, man, what is this? You can have a lot of fun with this.
Or have Santa's voice, and they'd be like, I see you're trying to peek inside your present for your kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, and again, the Cricket, it's got a lot of functionality, so if you want to do something even simpler, you can do something like a Feather M0 Express and
with
just a simple motor.
wing.
Yeah, with prop wing too.
hundreds of different ways to do
or
this.
even the hollow wing, yeah.
It's
just an idea to get you guys thinking. And it's got some code, circuit diagram. Yeah.
John K says, use a touch sensor for tickle laughter. That is a really good idea. Get the copper tape to go out. So as soon as you touch it, that would have been a really good idea.
Also,
tons of good stuff that you can add.
We have copper tape. We have bare
we have
conductive
this
paint,
brand
so you can
new
paint something on there and make it really seamless.
I already put it away. That new nylon conductive tape that we got, super nice.
Yeah? Oh, that's right. A bit of a ribbon.
It'll definitely look like a ribbon. Ah, that would have been a good idea.
Yeah. You tickle it. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And of course, be careful with glitter. It gets everywhere.
Yeah.
Like your hands are like, oh,
it's everywhere. I shouldn't have gone with
Tis
glitter.
the season for glitter.
I just wanted it to look good on camera. I didn't want it all over me.
Okay. So there you go. That is this week's project. And if you want to pick up any of the stuff that's left in stock, you can do so. Be sure to use coupon code SPOOKYBOX.
Kirby's reminding everybody that awesome partner DigiKey has the motor mount in stock. There's a link to it there.
There you go.
As well as the Crickit. David Estells too is saying that L equals re-triggering, which means that the output stays high as long as the motion keeps happening.
That's really useful.
So it comes standard with the H, and I could not get it to activate that way no matter what I tried. Lamar was trying to troubleshoot it as well.
Yeah.
It was only when I moved it to L that it actually started working. She does have a detailed guide on the PIR sensor. On the product page for that, she has a detailed breakdown on what it is and how it works and all that. So definitely check that out.
Yep. 40 left in stock at DigiKey. Thanks, buddies. All right. And I think you were saying something about the Learn. If you go to any of the Adafruit products, you scroll down, you can see the Learn guides and where it's used. It's used in a lot of different projects. There's John Park's project that we were talking about.
There's a diagram.
Ooh, look at this magical mistletoe. Oh, that's a great one. That's a really good one. It senses you and lights up. Oh, that's such a clever idea. Even look, Halloween screen box.
Oh,
there you go.
There you go.
Using that. But again, ours is written in CircuitPython.
Oh, yeah.
So here's the PIR Motion Sensor if you want more data on that.
That shouldn't stop you, though, because the really awesome Mike Sklark is going through every single project that has ever been made and is converting them all to CircuitPython. So definitely check back on old projects. He does go through a ton of them every week and updates them.
Not yet. This one's still Arduino.
We'll probably get to it. I'm sure it's on a very long list of
that's a good idea.
Projects
and
to
again,
update.
That's what's awesome about looking at the product page. You scroll down, you can see all the fun, awesome ideas. Motion activated solder fume extractor. Look at that.
Oh,
a lot of different fun motion activated things.
Yeah, the most recent one, Dave Estells had a super cute interactive kitty cat toy. Look at that. Super cute kitty.
Who is this? You smell like nothing. What are you?
So definitely check those out.
All right. Cool. So that's this week's project. We are going to move over to the next segment, which is what are you prototyping? Speaking of Dave Estells, we are collaborating on a forthcoming project. Let's take a look at it. It is a GPS tour guide. I'm just going to run the video as we get this ready. So the point of this project is that it is a GPS location aware project. It uses the Adafruit Halloween M0 Express and the Ultimate GPS Feather Wing. You get a display already on the Halloween, so we're able to display things using display IO. It's all written in CircuitPython by David. And it has the oval speaker so that it can play back audio clips. So the goal here is to kind of go to maybe your museum or something, or your an establishment that wants to kind of have a custom solution for like seeing different things that's location based. Tour guide. Right? So we put together this enclosure to house all the components, and we are actually going to bring it to Disney because we're going to be at Disney next week, and we're going to have things like the Haunted Mansion pull up, so as we walk up to it, it'll display an image of the Haunted Mansion and maybe give us some facts or something. But this could be, you know, remixed to be, like I said, something like a museum or something you want to see different art installations, and just pull up to it and walk around with it. So that's what I'm doing.
Covent Garden.
Working on the guide for that. So here is the box. I have two little bunny ears for kind of like this lanyard thing going on. You have access to the USB port here, so you can recharge the battery or reprogram it. It is written in CircuitPython, so you plug this in, you get all the assets, all the images, and all the sound files as well. So I got a little slide switch here. I'll flip it on, and hopefully the battery didn't die. It says welcome, and then it says acquiring fix. Now this is actually just an image. We're working on getting real text, but for now you can display images. And if you're far away from your location, you'll get a red circle. As you get closer to that location, you'll get a yellow circle, a green circle, and then once you get to the location, you get an image of the location itself. So it's using the Ultimate Feather GPS snap fit case. It's got a nice little external bezel piece that you can snap on. And again, the Halloween. Originally, Dave programmed it so that it would use the cap touch stuff to replay the audio. But I kind of wanted to enclose it, so we have this external button. This is a metal push button, so when you push the button, it'll just replay the audio. And we have the 400 milliamp battery. We have an external antenna, and we're able to cram everything in here. The oval speaker fits right here nicely. And it's still acquiring a fix. It's going to take a minute or two because we're indoors. If we step outside, it'll
picks up
pretty quick. It's a nice two-piece snap fit enclosure. There's no hardware screws needed for the two pieces, and you just kind of it's pretty much like the Halloween case that we made. You just snap it in, and it clicks in like that. And then we have these little bunny ears
attached to our newly stocked, super soft, comfortable lanyard for all badges.
The most lovely ribbon. It won't.
The finest ribbon.
The finest ribbon that money can buy. Yeah, and then I have a little hole here for the sound to come out. It is really audible.
It's very loud.
Pretty loud. I was biking around the neighborhood, and I was like, oh my god, people are going to think I'm in Ontario, London, because I didn't change the sound effects. And, there's 3 locations that Dave wrote. I think downtown, London, and some other places. So yeah, if you want to hear it, how loud it is.
I think somebody was saying that the audio was playing back.
Oh, established in 1845, they are a
yeah, that's right. I have it muted on my end, but you guys can hear it. Yeah, what was it? Labos?
Was it
apartment suite or something?
Oh,
downtown. I forget. But anyway, that's what we're working on.
I want to go ahead and plug the layer by layer that you worked on for literally cutting corners on
quite literally
enclosures inspired by the boxes on the Prusa printer.
That's
a really good idea of adding that to your enclosures.
Yeah. I've had a couple of people ask me, like, how do I make more interesting geometry in my enclosure? I just don't want it to be a regular square. So this is one way to do it. There's a couple different methods you can do it. Check out the layer by layer playlist. I'll have it linked down below in the description too. How you can make it a nice kind of case like that. And the snap fits are a little bit new. It's using the same concept, but it's using kind of different geometry as it has this kind of tab based here that kind of eats into that. And then you have these nice chamfers so you can get your finger in there and pop it off really easy. Like that. So it works very well.
Yeah, Kirby is saying that we should have a button that you can press again to stop the audio.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea too. Yeah, because if it's a long audio clip, it's just going to keep running indefinitely. And I actually need to build the assets for that next. I got to record my own voice for the places that we're going. So there you go. That is the prototype that we're working on. Shout out to Dave Estells for putting that together. And we'll be working on the guide in the coming days. Weeks?
It's going to be the week after, next week is Thanksgiving.
Yeah, here in the States, we're going to have a week off. We're going to be at Disney recording this, which is always fun. And we're actually going to meet up with Kirby, so shout out to Kirby.
Oh yeah, see if we get some B-roll of Kirby using product.
Maybe I need to...
This works. I like it.
Sweet. Oh, the code is available right now, too, if you want to start playing with it. It's on GitHub /learn system. I will bring you guys over there as it loads. Definitely want to star this one. Hit that star up there. Make an account with GitHub. It's free. And you can see all the new
projects that are in progress.
So it's called Tor Guide, if I spelled that right. Tor_guide. Halloween Tor Guide is the name of the repo, or the name of the folder. And here's the code, the bitmaps for all the images, the WAV files, and the locations.txt file. This right here is where you input the longitude and latitude for the places, and then you also define what image gets played and what audio gets displayed. Flip that.
We don't have a headphone jack on the Halloween, do we?
No, I do not believe so.
Do we have a project where we show how to add one? Could
maybe?
we?
Oh,
a very good question, Jerry.
Yeah, it's actually a really good idea. That way, you're not obstructing other audiences of the audio.
Yeah, I mean, in our case, it's going to be so loud.
That's right, yeah.
It's going to be so crowded.
You were going. That's funny. Okay, so there you go. That is the prototype. All the details and other things will be revealed in the coming weeks.
Can you grab that URL and put it in the chat?
Pop it. Lock it. Of course. You are. Check it out. Oh, actually, that's the full one. Oh. And then the subfolder is in the tree master. Here's the branch. I guess, what did you call it, branch? I don't know. Maybe it's a branch. There you go. There you go, Marcus.
Definitely subscribe to the first one, though, so you can see as new projects are being added and worked on.
That's right. Okay, let's jump into... Well, so that's what we're prototyping. Working on some other stuff, but that's what we have to show.
That's a good idea, too. When you're creating your assets, Kirby is saying to have text, so the audio won't be... so you won't need the audio.
Yeah, show an image of text. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah, totally. I guess for the Haunted Mansion, I can kind of... It's you have like, what, 128 by 128 pixels to work with? So
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. It's still acquiring fix. I gotta step outside. Cool. All right.
It's just going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, it has this fun Star Trek sound, communicator sound when it locks in.
The alert, yeah.
You're going to hear Dave just randomly sign.
He's going to show up any minute.
Yep. Like a ticking time bomb. All right, cool. Well, let's move into the next segment.
What are we prototyping or
shop
talk?
Real quick. As I was putting together the enclosure for this, I really needed to update the Halloween, the object that I created out of Eagle CAD and brought it into Fusion. Needed a bit of adjusting. So we're in Tunnel View. Let's go to the Fusion 360. So I went ahead and updated the display to feature the actual piece of foam tape that's in between the display and the PCB. Reason being, if you were to design something and you have a cutout for the display, it might not work because there is 2 millimeters of distance between the display and the PCB. So I brought that in there and added it in and exported it out and uploaded it to GitHub so that is a more accurate representation of the model itself. In this particular design, I really needed to have it in there so that I can make sure that the bezel doesn't crack the display, because I've done that and I feel bad when that happens. But anyway, that is a part that got updated. Also needed to make the ultimate GPS feather wing. So I brought this into Fusion out of Eagle CAD, and shout out to people who upload models to grabcad.com. This is a great place to get parts in this particular product. We got the CR10 battery holder, and we have the actual GPS module. So it has all the proper pinouts and stuff.
That's very nice.
Yep, the UFL connectors right there as well. Reset button, capacitors, everything you need, pinouts, even the traces. And the silkscreen shows up because it just happened to be on the right layer. Sometimes our custom silkscreen isn't on the right layer, and it's like on a different layer. This one was nice, so it brought it in. Something like the Halloween doesn't show the silkscreen because it's custom. It's a custom layer. It's not in there, so boo. Can't change it yet.
Lamar and Phil are talking to requesting
the Autodesk Eagle team to do that.
Because come on, especially with like badges blowing up, everybody wants a custom shape. Why not?
Yeah. And the last thing that I have is the 400 milliamp battery, PID 30 or forget the PID.
400 milliamp hour. It is PID 3898.
Okay. You can get this again from GitHub. Search for Adafruit CAD parts. I'll go ahead and drop this into the chat. So there is the CAD parts, and I just added the GPS feather wing the updated hollow wing, and the 400 milliamp battery. So they're all laid out like that. Just search for the PID. It also includes the step file and a STL file. If you want to use something like Tinkercad, you can grab that step file and model around that, which is really nice.
Yep, always multiple formats because we don't know who's going to be around next year.
That's right. Sweet. Coupon code. I got a little something in my throat.
John K is asking, Featherwing to add BLE? I think it was shown off as a tease last week.
We'll learn about it more tonight on Ask Engineer. So
definitely tune in.
Hang tight for that one. All right, we have 20 minutes left, so we're going to jump into shop talk. Talking about the Prusa 3D printer that we just got. We are working on some interesting time-lapse stuff.
Everybody is using Octolapse to make some awesome time lapses, so I hooked up, or pretty much hot glued, one of our little limit switches and just added some alligator clips to hook it up to one of the camera trigger wires, our little 5D, 7D cameras that we have here, and it's just literally hooked on with alligator clips using Octolapse to tell it to, for every frame or for every layer, move over to the center left and take a picture.
Yeah, this is great. So what you end up getting is, can I show it yet?
So this is what we got with the webcam.
Correct.
I was not happy with, the
quality. Yeah.
Even though it's
the
a little
exposure changes, you can't lock the exposure.
It's not 5K.
It's not 5K. It is a 4K camera, but the Octolapse plugin doesn't support 4K.
Oh.
The Harriston, affordable luxury rental apartment suites in the heart of downtown London.
I wish I was in downtown London. All right, I forgot to turn off. So it does work. It just took a couple.
It's because we're indoors.
Yeah.
At any rate, yeah, the
this is amazing.
yeah, not quality. Yes, the functionality of rendering your time lapses is super awesome, but of course the quality of the camera, no matter what webcam you're going to get, you're not going to get DSLR.
And you can
quality.
Adjust the bit rate and things like that, even after cranking.
I was able to get it. No, I did. I was able to get the quality up just a little bit, but again, it's not 5K. It's not using a Canon L series lens.
Oh yeah, the glass matter.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go ahead and look at what the plugin is. So Octoprint is a open source hosting software for 3D printers, and it runs on the Raspberry Pi and other Linux boards. So if you're new to that, definitely check it out. For printers that don't have an LCD or a controller, you can connect to it wirelessly via another computer and a browser. And we love Octoprint. It works really well. So there is a plugin repo. I'll go ahead and link this right now so you guys can check it out in there and in Facebook. Don't want to forget about Facebook. But yeah, this homepage for the plugin really walks through all the features and stuff. Currently, this runs on all the Prusas, ANETs, and the following printers here. Here are some really cool demos that the developer put together. Sorry, I don't want to get your name wrong. Brad. Brad is the author of this plugin, and it's phenomenal work. Check this out.
It's been a lot of really awesome ones by Wild Rose on Instagram.
Yeah, we'll get there. There's some other ones.
This is using like the camera arm.
So this is just really awesome, so that it tells the printer to park and park the head and park the bed, because those two are moving. If you were to put a GoPro and just set it up there, you really won't be able to see it because you're going to see the printer moving like this, and depending on your f-stop or your shutter speed, you're just going to see a blur. Yeah, which could be an interesting effect, but if you want to see your print come out of nowhere, and this is, I guess, another. There
are different options for how you want your Z and your head to move out of the way. If you want it in the center, whatever side.
So these are just the examples that are in the homepage. If you want some really stellar ones, Pedro was saying, check out Wild Rose Builds. Wild Rose is phenomenal, amazing. These are These are moving as well. I love the clock in the background. It's so clever. So you can see this is actually moving, painting across, and it just looks like it's growing out of thin air.
So cool.
Yeah, so these are really great. So check Wild Rose out on Instagram.
There's another one too, Adam Prince.
Adam Prince, another awesome fellow who is using a similar method. This one moves as well. This is super cool.
we're going to do, I forgot who posted on how to actually create one where it's just a motor that's being triggered on one of those skates that's hooked up to the DSLR, so it's, you know, sort of doing a semicircle around it.
Correct.
We will attempt that sometime next year.
Yeah, definitely. So there you go.
It'll definitely make it easier once BLE, the Feather BLE, is released.
Excellent. All right, so that's the experiments we're doing, and we're going to process this time lapse here.
Oh, it looks so good. It just finished right before the show. Wow,
Yeah.
the quality of it compared to the webcam. Whoa.
Yeah, and we always get a question like, how do we get our time lapse to zoom in? If you film, if you take pictures at 5,000 by 4,000 pixels, you can scale it up. You can zoom into it because what we're displaying is 1920 by 1080. So you can just scale it in your software like Premiere, or Final Cut, or iMovie, or whatever.
Yep, that's all it is.
Just a quick rundown. We could do a tutorial later.
Yeah, I'm going to do a project on this, but it's literally just, if you go back to the B-roll of the limit switch there.
Yes, let's do that.
It's pretty much just hot glued to the end. I raised the bed, or not the bed, I raised the extruder head all the way up to make sure it doesn't, it's not in the way of the top part pieces there, and make sure that it's not in the way of the extruder, the spring loaded. So if you look at the show notes, it shows which limit switch I'm using here. Got these in the shop. A little micro switch. And definitely want to use this technique on the Ultimakers as well, although some people were saying that the Octolapse doesn't, or Octoprint in general doesn't work that well with the Ultimakers, which is why it took us this long to actually start researching and getting into it.
Yeah, the Ultimakers don't need Octoprint because they have a built-in Wi-Fi board and they have their own CRICKIT.
So I'm going to do it this way. I am going to see if just faking a prime tower, so the head moves out of the way and hits the limit switch. But I think I want to use product ID, what is it? 375, the magnetic contact switches. So when the head moves over closer to the right backside of the printer.
Like what you see in your Windows, security windows and such.
Yeah,
Door sensor.
we'll have that trigger the little camera cable thing.
Just a regular switch, huh? Ground voltage.
We'll see if this works.
Sound signal. Sweet, excellent. So that's the shop talk.
Some of the techniques coming up for even more time lapses for next year.
Sweet.
Cool.
Hey, speaking of time lapse, let's jump into the community makes. Every Tuesday, we 3D print something from the community, and this one is by Tommy Kong, remixed by Sipis for dual extrusion. So we 3D printed this on our Ultimaker 3 using some really nice filament that we're going to show you in a minute. This took about, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a lizard, and this filament looks amazing. We really wanted to test it without any support material to see how well it would do with the filament and how well the printer could handle it. So that's why. It cleans up very well. This is shot on my iPhone, or what? I can't remember.
I think it is.
Yeah, shot outside, and there's no post-processing done on this model. It just looks this great because the filament is really nice.
We cut away at the overhangs.
Yeah,
you can definitely see the the polymers that they're using on this. Is
excellent.
Just awesome, shiny details that are brought forth.
And you wouldn't think of that if you look at the film. Well, let's go ahead and look at the guy himself here, overhead. Ooh. Look at this.
Look at the detail that comes out with all the little skin ridges and all that.
So obviously the color temperature changes. Cameras are a little bit different, but this is a really nice shade of green. It's super shiny. I think from a distance, Bernie thought it was real. So that looks like a real lizard. So really, really great work by Tommy Kong and Sipis for remixing it for dual extrusion.
Yeah, this looks really good.
So let's take a look at the Thingiverse page real quick. It is on Thingiverse. You can download it.
And you just compare it to the regular green
PLA it's a little bit muted,
used.
a little bit matted, muted. Lizard is separate. The piece of bark or tree or whatever that is.
Oh yeah, so the bark is in Vertigo Galaxy?
Yes, Vertigo Galaxy.
From Filamentum.
From Filamentum. And then the green is actually from Poly Alchemy Elixir PLA. This stuff was on sale a couple months ago, and I got my hands on some. Shout out to Kirby for recommending this stuff. It looks beautiful. It's called Emerald City, and I will bring up the product page right here.
The only weird thing about it was it stuck a little too well to the glass
Yes,
bed.
be careful with glass, printing on glass, and anything that has a PLA and additives, polymers like PHA, will stick a little bit too good to the bed. So
Yeah.
thankfully this one has a flat bed. Let me look at it. It was just the perimeter, like the skirt, and that was like, I had to use a razor blade to scrape it off
Yeah.
really good because it kind of fused to the glass, kind of eats away at the glass. So be careful if you're printing on glass.
Man,
Maybe
does
you wanna
that look
switch to
good. Look at
PEI
that.
or something.
Holy
It looks
crap.
beautiful. Yeah. Very great filament. They have it in different colors as well. So check out the website.
I think the gold, I've seen people print it.
I'm
It looks
just
amazing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna delete that. Go over here. Yeah, so they have different colors. So check them out. I will link that over here.
Ah, there you go.
There.
Kirby's saying use a glue stick as the barrier
That's
for
a
it.
good idea. That way.
Definitely gonna try that because I want to use this more.
You want to use it more? Yeah. More green. Sweet. You also have a sample pack that you can get all the elixir colors. Very, very pretty stuff. Look at that purple. Oh man, it looks beautiful. Good stuff.
Yeah, all that
Decent price.
shine that it just brings out detail and textures out a lot more than, you know, this would be a super boring print, I
Yeah.
think.
Hey Bill, maybe pick some up. Bill Binko, I want to see some Ultimaker stuff being printed.
Speaking of
Speaking of
AT
which, we are
makers.
moving on to, well, it's still Community Makes, yeah?
Yeah.
Shout out to Bill Binko, head of 18makers.org. He put together a feather enclosure. It's on Thingiverse, check it out. I thought I'd download it, it's right there.
Oh, there it is.
So it's a two-piece enclosure that snap fits together. It works with just about all the Adafruit feather boards. No screws are required for this one, so we can head on over to the, you want me to open it? You can't open it. It's a trick. You have to know how to do it. So, come on, focus. There we go. So this is printed with Galaxy, vertical Galaxy. Feather on the side here, Adafruit on the side there. There's also a blank version. This is printed with Rapunzel silver. And the way you get, okay, so you have a nice opening here for wires to pass through. I hate this camera. And the USB port is right there. Plenty of clearance to, oh my God, hold that. I'm gonna kill this camera.
Do you want me to focus on the keyboard?
Yeah, totally. The keyboard is so far away. Give me a second here to turn off autofocus. All right, there you go. Get closer. There you go. So you can see it's pretty nice quality there. All right, so the way it opens is a snap fit. There's two edges here. You just kind of pull it out like that. And then you can pop it out like that. Very interesting is that these tabs kind of do double function. They have these indentations here on the side, and those indentations lock into these nubs here that's on the cover. So that's how the cover is. They're at a 45-degree angle, so they print without any supports. And these indentations also have a 45-degree angle. And the tabs actually grip on to the PCB itself,
really
holding
good
it
idea.
down so they won't pop out. Right? Other thing is that it has these little standoffs that have a bit of a chamfer at the bottom there to give it some clearance. And this will just pop into those mounting holes, the 4 mounting holes on the feather. So you get this really nice snap fit bottom here. Again, there is some clearance at the bottom there, so it's really nice. But it's, you know, it only fits the feather. You could probably fit a feather wing if you elongate this guy here. But for the most part, if you wanted to have something really simple enclosure, it's nice. And it's symmetrical, so you can have it either this way or that way. And the way to pop it in is just kind of get it in there, and it pops and clicks into place. Very cool. Yeah, and I like that it has surface here, so that you can stick this onto something if you'd like. If you want to stick it onto something else, or here as well. And of course you have access to the USB port there. So very nice work, Bill. We'll be sharing it on the blog as well. Let me put this back over to autofocus, and then back over to Thingiverse. So there you go, it's up there. I posted a make of it. There is my make over there.
Jerry mentioned that this printed excellent, even though our settings were not set up what we were
Yeah, the tolerances
usually
just work out.
Yeah.
Usually we like to change the line
width,
but we didn't have to. We just left the default. Worked out well. So good stuff there. Proper clearances.
Excellent.
All right, next up, we're gonna head on over to this one. This is our first make of the lightsaber, the prop maker based lightsaber. So shout out to this Thingiverse user Tharos, who is building the parts, waiting on parts, printed on an ANET A8 3D printer, 0.3 layer height, single extrusion. Remember, it's a single
wow.
extrusion and dual extrusion. It looks nice either way. Very, very cool.
Just waiting for the
prop maker to get back in stock.
Exactly.
Yeah, excellent. This is a NeoPixel LED gas mask make. We designed this a couple years back, and you know, Halloween was not too long ago. So
I like the way that this has been different, or that has a different theme.
Yeah, weathering, different color.
Process.
Looks really cool. Also added some cool stuff to the eye here. Made his own eye grid.
So cool.
Looks really neat. Very cool. And this is from Chris Schmitz, who made a really cool case for the Gemma, NeoPixel Gemma. Wait, no. It is Gemma based, but it's a jewel as well. So you get this really cool kind of bubbly cover. And it has swappable covers. Then you can swap out the cover. Cool. It snaps in. And he shout outs the GitHub Adafruit CAD parts that's on GitHub. So you can check that out. That's where he was able to get the model for the PCB. And here's a quick video of Chris playing around with different animations. Really nice light diffusion here. It kind of looks like a flower. Yeah, so he's working on that. Very, very cool. All right, the last thing, well, not the last thing. This is a NeoPixel light box from Mohit on Thingiverse. He actually works for Particle.io. We already have that open. He has an amazing Instagram account, so check this out. This is a nice little kind of a light box. He just makes all his stuff look like just fantastic artwork, pieces of artwork. Look at that, it's amazing. So you can kind of tune in those colors, I think.
Very cool.
Yeah, right? Is that how it works? Yeah, very, very cool. So check out Mohit on Instagram. He's got such beautiful photography and really nice design stuff. He works at Particle.io. He does some sculptures as well. This is super interesting sculptures. It's like floating circuits. Pretty sweet. So check him out. I have a link in the description. And yeah, it's just this phenomenal work. Really great.
These are amazing.
Yeah, there's this, very cool Particle.io using the Feather platform to make their boards. Really, really sweet idea.
Yay.
And yeah, establishing Adafruit Feather. That's the thing.
Cool.
It's totally a thing. And the last thing I want to share with you guys, XYZ Aiden is back. Aiden is back with a very awesome project. He designed and 3D printed this connector for creating an icosahedron, like a giant one, a giant icosahedron that's made out of PVC pipe. So these connector bits are sized for, I think, of a 1-inch PVC piping. And the cool thing about this geodesic dome is that you just cut the strips, 14 strips, I believe, all in the same length, and it's expandable. You can have it as short or as big as you want. So Aiden walks through him, putting the assembly together, how many pieces you need. Here's all the pieces of piping that you need to put this thing. And I want to skip a little bit here. He actually 3D printed on his wooden Ultimaker. That's awesome. Put good use out of the wooden Ultimaker. And the assembly is pretty straightforward. You just snap in the pieces and I guess drill a hole here, a pilot hole, and then get some nice bolts in there. I want to see him building it here. Yeah, so for the full video, be sure to subscribe and check him out on YouTube. Really nice to see him back making videos and doing projects and sharing it. Very awesome. I'm inspired to make my own. I want to make one and put some lights, LEDs in it and stuff. It'd be really cool.
So actually, Lamar
requested... What did she request?
I think it was like a month back. People always say, oh, you're already working on Christmas stuff. Well, we're already working on New Year's Eve stuff.
Yeah, we're going to make a ball, the crystal ball, so I needed to learn how to make a 12-sided geodesic dome. So I think it's a V2 or V3, I forget. There's like a whole thing of how to design these things. So I made this thing in Fusion. I want to put together a tutorial on how I did it. That's some extreme overhang. I can't believe the printer did it. So as a test,
good job.
Really, really thin. It's only 1.5 millimeter.
Nice,
it's like kind
sturdy.
of flexible in a way. Put on your head.
Works as a net. Or if you had a little rim there, you can have a hat.
Yeah, wireframe hat.
Pretty cool. Yeah, so it'll be a countdown ball drop for New Year's. It'll have the RTC, so it'll count down and it'll just drop. We're going to use the, what was that Kickstarter that has those gems glued right on top of a NeoPixel strip.
Yeah, rhinestones.
Rhinestones, yeah. So we're going to use that, have that all around there, have some cool animations and all that for that.
Yeah, so that's another prototype thing we're kind of working on. It's very fun.
Cool.
But for now, check out Aiden's stuff on Thingiverse. because he has the connector bit on there as well. So
Definitely want to print those out, make a big old giant one for the backyard.
Here it is. Yeah, I know. Wouldn't that be fun to roll it down the hill or something?
Right.
Super dope. I need to log in, give it a like if I haven't already. So check it out. Very cool. That is this week's Community Makes. If you would like to share any of your projects with us, please do so. You can hit us up on any of the social channels. We have handles up here. When I switch to this over here, there's our handle. I'm at Ekin, and Pedro is at VideoPixel, or you can at Adafruit, or use support@adafruit.com. Yeah, I want more Colin too. Every week. It's like, where's Colin? I need Colin.
Colin quality level stuff takes a long time to do.
You can't.
He just not just.
You can't just have Colin. You have to earn him.
Yeah. They're so good because he spent a long time on the script writing, doing all the shooting for that. This does not just come out like so easily. So you require patience if you want more Colin.
Yeah.
He is definitely in the back.
He's not in the back.
Working.
He's in the front. He's captain. No.
You could see him. I think it was last week's show and tell.
Yeah,
he was there. You can
he's
take a
doing
look
some
at.
Awesome neo trellis stuff. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
No, he already showed it off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
definitely check out the show and tell if you want more Colin. He was there last week. I think he's going to be there this week as well.
Sweet.
You can see what he's working on there.
All right. Well, that's going to be it for the show, folks. We are over time. Check out Spooky Box as the coupon code for today if you want to order anything in the Adafruit shop. All of your orders are definitely good. Thank you so much for supporting Adafruit as a whole. Mm-hmm. Let's see if you can spot Colin. Can you spot Colin?
You see where Colin is?
See where he is? He's like, where's Waldo? I see him.
Where is he? Where is he? Oh, there he is.
Right there, questioning the universe and reality as well. Very cool. Well, anyway, you know, we're very happy to do the show, and thank you guys so much for tuning in, and good luck on all your maker endeavors. Holidays are upon us. Winter is coming, if not over here. So be sure to get those orders in.
All those orders in right now. You don't want to wait till the last minute. There are going to be some sales, but you're not going to save any money if you can't order it. So don't wait around.
Don't wait around.
Every year, past 10 years.
There's some sales coming on, but who knows if this stuff will be on sale.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
There's no point to waiting if there's no item in stock to get. So
correct.
Definitely start stocking up now. It's never too early. Start putting up your tree.
Okay. Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much. Don't worry, we have more show for you later tonight. Show and tell. If you'd like to share your projects with Lamar and Phil in the world, you can do so. Check out the YouTubes on 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Happens every Wednesday. Shortly after that, we have Lamar and Phil. I'm hoping for some new products and some exciting things. And tomorrow is John Park's workshop. Be sure to tune in. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
I think he just tweeted out what he's actually going to be working on, so a lot of awesome new trellis projects coming up.
Sweet. All right, well, that is going to do it for the show. Thank you guys again so much for joining us. We'll see you later tonight. But until then, don't forget.
Make it great.
This is
Making Christmas.
We don't have a fail today, sorry. But we do fail a lot. So. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, got rid of it.
Remember, no show next week.
Yeah.
See you the week after.
Bye.
See you guys.
Good luck. Where's the button?